It's all in your mind. It's just a figment of your imagination. NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we come with another wonderful episode of, that's right, NERDSoul. We got that hip hop, we got that geek on screen. I'm not gonna waste no time because we gotta catch up before tonight's episode of course, Cloak and Dagger. And straight up, I really loved the honest, the mental, the weird nature of this episode. The thing I love the most is the teamwork is, because in the last episode, we saw Tandy. She was like, yo, I think I know someone who can help. She brings Tyrone. Of course, they break in the hospital and all that stuff. And they both, kind of merge with Ivan's consciousness. And from there on, we get this weird kind of subconscious dream state, kind of Groundhog's Day situation where he's playing these situations over and over again. There's one scenario where, of course, the oil rig explodes, but we learn so much about the characters. We learn so much about the relativity of time in that space, and we learn so much about loss and reconnection. And I'm gonna touch on Ivan real quick. He is a man that I feel like he really wanted to do what was best for society. He didn't seem, because I was worried how he would be when we met him. And he's not one of those like mad scientists, like, he's better than you or he's smarter than you for some reason. Or, there's something about him that, since he's a scientist, he's above everyone else. He really came across as a very, just natural, relatable guy that's just like, hey, I'm just here to do my job and I want to, help do something cool for the world. And unfortunately, being caught inside of this mental state has driven him completely, well, I won't say mad. I was going to say mad, but more, it's disassociated him. I'll say that because he has forgotten, his daughter, he's forgotten, all kinds of things. And the only thing he knows is this one thing that just keeps going on and on and on. And now with Tyrone and Tandy in there, it puts him in a situation where maybe he can succeed, but I don't think he even realizes how important it is yet. And Tandy is just really driving it home, trying to make sure they figure out how to get him back to, back to life, back to reality. In effort to hopefully restore honor to her father's name, solve the mystery of his death, all kinds, there's really no mystery. We know how he died, but just the mystery around Roxanne. What went on? What happened? And we're starting to peel back these layers of Roxanne that really show a very accurate picture of like corporate greed, laziness, oversight, all kinds of things that kind of just make this horrible storm of just ineptitude and ignorance and any other horrible word you could think of, because that's what led to the oil rig explosion. Now, on the other side, I love how we got to see the other side of the effects of this explosion, how these people, turned into these kind of like crazed monsters that were just attacking and lashing out at anything. That also gave us kind of like these nameless, faceless enemies to attack. Even though he did give a couple of names, you had like Cheney and Axie and all that stuff, which I thought was kind of cool because in this situation, and even losing his mind, he kind of kept a pretty level head about things, I guess if you could say. But that's what I really loved about Ivan's situation, and I guess the episode being in his subconscious as a whole, because it really was a fertile ground to learn more about Roxanne, to learn more about Tyrone and Tandy and him. And it was just something that was very personal for them all. Now I'm gonna move on to some other stuff after the jump in just a second. But of course, first, KURO Brand is gonna help us pay them bills. Oh yeah, check that link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. Now, we talked about Tyrone and Tandy and Ivan in this situation, but now let's talk about getting back what you want, getting something that you've missed. And in these phone calls that come from her father when he's calling, of course, Ivan, but her being able and her being Tandy, being able to hear her father's voice is something that, you know, many of us could probably relate to. You know, you may have lost someone that you wish that maybe you could just have one more conversation. You know, maybe just laugh with that person one more time, or hear them tell that funny story they always tell, or just get some advice from them or something. And she really, you know, the actress really showed her range in the anger, the sadness, the calm and, you know, insecure nature of kind of wanting to curl up, you know, with her father, just hearing her voice and hearing his voice. And it was good, man. I really enjoyed that part. I just thought it was a nice touch. And then Tyrone being there to be like, look, I know this is what you want. I understand where you're coming from, but we got to get out of here. And even us finding out that him completing the task wasn't enough. It didn't fix it, that Ivan had to do it himself. Now, this is probably the largest part of this episode that I think works for everybody is Tyrone and Tandy finally became a team in this episode. This is the first person as a superhero team that they have saved. You know, Tyrone, Tandy figure out he's got to do it. They get him down to the bottom. He, you know, twists the levers and pulls the things and press the button, does all that, and they wake him up. And it's a great accomplishment. And this is episode 7, I believe. And I think this is something that we've earned because we've seen where they've come from. And in 7 episodes, we've learned so much about these characters that this has gone a long way to establish their deep connection on, I guess, a friendship and understanding level of where they're going to go forward. Now, of course, there's probably going to be a relationship in the future, but just their understanding of working side by side, you know, where they need to help each other out, and how to, you know, protect each other as well. You know, what to do to help each other out of situations, like Tyrone helped Tandy. And then also later that evening, Tandy helping Tyrone by giving him an ear to listen to, because he digs up these tapes where him and his brother are together just talking and laughing and, you know, beatboxing and rapping. And it's a beautiful moment. And I think this is a very seminal episode where they become a unit. And that's what I like so much about this episode. This episode is very funny. Of course, you know, Monsieur Flambe and all that. But it's an episode that really brought their powers, really brought their thoughts and ideas and their abilities together. And I mean abilities further than just what they can do with their powers, but their abilities as far as their ingenuity and their intellect. Great episodes. Really dug it. So I can't wait for tonight. But holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in the comments, let's talk Cloak and Dagger. Can't wait to hear what you thought. But until then, I'm gonna tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. And don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that NERDSoul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, the best way to have a family reunion is after a long and very welcoming nap. Peace.